Well, the first thing I did this morning was pulled a couple spark plugs just to see if they were wet. No, not too bad. I think that's good news. On to the next thing. So there's where she's idling at the moment. I think a lot of people say this is about where she should be. I'm thinking closer to 700-800. She's cold at the moment. I want to bring her up to temperature a little bit here. I'm having a hard time seeing where that timing mark is. I think it's in the pulley there, and it looks like it might be advanced 10 degrees, which I think is about where it's supposed to be as well. I think that's good news. So I went to just tap the gas. It's been running at that 540 or so for the last, 4 or 5 minutes. Tap the gas, dead. Died immediately, and I can't get her to crank over again. So I have to think about this for a moment. All right, so we've got her going again. Vacuum line isolated. Plug is in over here. RPMs up a little bit. I don't know, 50, 60 RPM. I'd like her to be going a little more. We put this bad boy on. Again, it should be right in the middle. I'm running a little high, but I think I'm happy with that. Seem to be pretty well balanced. This is the driver's side carb. I think when I go over to the passenger side, it's balanced, but she's going to want to stall. Right, about the same spot here. But maybe not. Vexing, because if I give it the beans, she'll die. Boy, I don't feel like she's getting the right amount of fuel. I wonder if that fuel pump's bad. Okay, so I got her going again. And she's idling at, jumped up a little there. She's idling in the 6s. I don't think that's too bad. My challenge is, as before, if we give it the beans, even just a little bit. You know what? Maybe I need to, now that I'm generally happy with this idle speed, maybe I need to plug that vacuum back in. Maybe that's my mistake. Let's see here. About where I want it. Over here and watch, she's gonna die. But about where I want it. Keep it together, girl. So I'm gonna say the fuel pump's working because we're gonna run out of fuel by now. So let's plug in this vacuum. I'll plug this vacuum back in and see if there's any changes. Hold, please. All right. Vacuum canister's back on. Again, about halfway. Try again. Again, I don't think it's the fuel pump because I'm pretty sure those floats are full of fuel. Air starved. Too much fuel. I don't know. I'm kind of back on that fuel pump deal, but it's wet. I put a bunch of starting fluid in and she fires off, runs for a moment. This one's dry. I'm very vexed. I think the carbs arguably are balanced. Even if they're balanced incorrectly, they're balanced. I don't know at this point. But I have some other chores I need to get to, so this might be the end of this for a moment. You know, maybe I need to pull that distributor out and take a look at those points. Let's try that. So I'm basically back to factory settings, and you can see I'm bouncing basically right around 700. Again, starter fluid to get her started. Seems to be idling pretty smooth. Let's see what the little ball thing looks like. Yep, that seems reasonable to me. The engine isn't laboring any with that being on there. I think the idle went up even just a little bit, which makes me happy. If I take the launch tank off, drop down some. Now when we go to this passenger carburetor, she's gonna die. She's sort of in the middle. Okay, then we keep it going. I don't think it's a fuel pump issue because, well, it's been running for the last at least a minute, maybe a minute and a half. Carburetor's getting fuel. Seems to be holding idle right about 700, which I'm happy with. When we give her the beans, just a little bit of beans, down slow. So is it not getting enough fuel? The fuel pump failing? It just hasn't failed? I don't think so. Well, maybe. That's 1,300 RPM. Down. Okay. Back up. Okay. Watch this. Well, let's do this side. No issues. Holding it, 6.5. We're going to come over here. Theoretically, to do the exact same thing, but I bet you she dies. So, I don't know what that means. Other than there's an issue with that carburetor, I believe. I have to do some reading. Anyway, some forward progress, I think. All right, so it's the next morning. got in. She started right up, stalled. I started her again and sat in the passenger seat, giving her a little gas for about 30 seconds or so. You see where she's idling. The only thing I've done this morning is I've taken the idle screw, and it is a quarter turn in more than the driver's side car. I'll let her sit here and warm up, and let's see what happens. So you let off the gas quickly and she dies. Let's see if I can get her started. Okay, 1, 2. Okay, she started right up. That's good. This says just over 1,000. We'll call it 1,000 RPM. Let's see what the I think a little forward progress here, but again, give her the beans. I come down slow. Keep running. Covered. She's definitely bogged down. Very strange. Anyway. Forward progress. Well, so the RPMs have definitely come down, which tells me that the chokes are closed. She's warmed up. Still gonna have the same problem. Give her the beans. Dead. Dead. Well, let's see if she'll start. All right, I shouldn't have to touch the gas. Oh, okay. So we give her some beans. Oh, oh, oh. A lot of backfiring going on. Not tuned well. So I'm not even moving my foot. I haven't moved my foot. If I floor it, she'll die. I'm gonna floor it. Alright, come back down. See if she stalls, slowly coming off. Okay. See that? Well, you gotta go slow with the gas. So she's just bogged down. Dead. Dead. No, too much gas. Yeah, now she's not gonna start for a minute. Flooded. All right, it's been a couple minutes. Let's see what happens. I wanted to. So, am I getting too much fuel? Not enough air? So I wait a couple more minutes and she'll fire off again. Same sort of routine. So, well, like I said yesterday, well, today, because you're still watching this today, I've got to do some more reading. But I think a little forward progress. It's definitely not a fuel pump. She's doing fine on her own. Anyway, thanks for watching. We'll see you in chapter 5. Hopefully I'll have some good answers for you. Thanks for watching again. Have a good day. Bye. Ahoy. So, it's been one of those days. Everything you've just viewed, or witnessed, I guess, happened several days ago. I'm not any further along, but I have returned the passenger side carburetor settings. Remember, I believe I said I had taken a quarter turn of the idle screw in on the passenger side. I have since then backed that quarter screw back out. So both carburetors are essentially balanced, if you will. I have done some reading. These Bob Helt books. I've gotten through this one, obviously, but I've read some of this, and as near as I can tell, every year seems like Chevy basically put a new carburetor on these Corvairs, and even some of their, I don't know what they used to call them, the releases from corporate to the dealers on how to deal with some of their issues. Even had these dealers drilling holes in the bowls of carburetor because of, they were calling it heat soak. In my world, it's vapor lock. And in 67, they actually, you can kind of see it right there. That black circle, that's like the vapor release valve, if you will. It was such a problem. It took them 8 years to get it to, I think if you just barely tap the gas, that opens up and lets some vapors out. If you were to go to the market and the car was parked for 5 minutes and not an hour, to sort of let those vapors escape so the car will start. You don't sit there and crank it for half an hour and smoke your starter motor. Anyway, that's not really what I wanted to talk about. I think I said it's been a few days. She starts, idles at 800 till she warms up, and then settles into the low to mid 6s, I guess, which I think is okay. And here, take a look. Here's a picture of what I believe is the mark, showing me that the timing is basically about, 12, 13 degrees off of, or where it should be. Here, normally that mark is on the rim of the pulley wheel, if you will, and I believe in this case it's not. It's actually in the valley. Here, take a look. I believe this is the mark because it's the only one I can find. Here it is. So if that's accurate, then I believe the timing is correct. I don't feel like there's any vacuum leaks, none that I can find, or that are so big it's obvious. I don't think it's a fuel issue at this point because she'll run an idle and she'll sit at idle forever. And if you bring the R's up slowly, I can get it to 5,000 RPM, no problem. When it drops down, if you let her go immediately, she deteriorates, drops down, and most of the time she'll end up stalling. If you bring her down slowly, most of the time she'll settle into that 600 range and keep running. If you goose her or give her the beans immediately, you get that bog or that bottoming out, which kind of brings me back, I think, to the carburetors, because if the timing is right, there's not vacuum leaks, and we make a reasonable assumption that it's getting enough fuel, is it possible the floats are not installed correctly? Is it possible the floats, there's a hole and they're leaking? I don't know. I'm inclined to buy 2 new carb kits. That's, I don't know, $160, and rebuild them. But I'm not sure that that's the issue. Is it really just those screws? I've got to do some more reading. But I just wanted to sort of give you an update, which you just watched. Nothing has really changed other than she'll basically start right up, come to temperature, you give it a little bit of gas, and she just sort of dies. So anyway, thanks so much for watching. In this world where you can be anything you want, be kind, be humble, be forgiving, and we'll see you in the next episode here of the Corvair or Corsa Chronicles, as it were. Take care. Bye.